Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 5th of October. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, it's more of the same really. It's just yesterday actually broke the trend line, but managed to pull back in and close above, so it stays in the neutral zone for me at this stage. Still waiting for either a break of this and close above the 500 moving average there, the daily 500, or a break or close below the lower trend line there. Of course, the trend line would be probably preferable to the upside, but either way would be good that we get some direction as opposed to the sidewards that we're moving at the moment. Now, it doesn't mean there weren't decent trades to be had yesterday, but it was a choppy old day, and it did come off quite quickly and stay there for a long time on the euro, and it's probably more of the same today, although we do have the target of the daily pivot below us at the moment, which isn't on. Let's see what we're looking at in terms of 13. Oh goodness, not many points away then. That's also 17 points or so away. So 16, 17 points. So it's not a long way away at all. But there's that possibility. But as I say, before I really trade it, I'd prefer to see it outside of that range, daily range. Cable on the other hand, 1985 lows. There we go. First quarter of 85, we dropped down to 105. So we've got still got a bit of doing to get down to that sort of level. But at the moment, the pound looks like it wants to get down there. It's heading. It's got daily pivot above. This could be the third day on the row that it falls. I wouldn't put it past it. It's not that far from the daily S1 again. If it catches that first, it really does reduce the odds of it coming back towards the daily pivot. So just watching for that at the moment. Any early retracement, well, I would still really prefer it to be above the 60-20s. It hasn't actually hit the 60-21 exponential. It's hit the simple, but not the exponential yet. So whether we'd get reactions to that as well, or whether now it would break up above that into the daily pivot, would see. But for me, I'm quite bearish on it. Have to remain bearish on it, and it's retracements back to 8 o'clock pivots may be the answer. If you can make it back to its 8 o'clock pivot. Dollar yen really hasn't done much more than shove outside of the trend line there. Could still be on for its monthly R1 there. There was a Gartley pattern that had sort of worked its way through there, a bit of an ugly one, but it was there all the same. And it's currently well on its way to its second target, which is just above and more closer to these prior lows there. So there is some potential continuation there as well. It's consolidating here again, and we see these phases of consolidation and then eventually the breakout. Whether it will do it small is another matter. If it breaks the 21, then obviously, I say obviously, but we've got the potential for it to break down towards the daily pivot there. So it's probably some reasonable points on there, about 30 odd points there, or 20 odd points once it's broken the 60-20s. Aussie dollar couldn't hold on to the previous day's gains, and yesterday sold off back to the monthly pivot. Not managing much of a bounce from here either at the moment, and it's, if anything, erring towards the bearish side, which we've seen across many of these markets. As I've drawn the trend line on the top there with the trend yesterday, well, that's not likely to happen, and at the moment it could be heading back towards this Asian session lows, maybe yesterday, the S1. I was going to say yesterday's lows, but the S1 sort of area and those prior lows that we saw last week on Friday. Okay, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. What we've seen here is a bounce off the monthly pivot, held up pretty well yesterday. May try to push and close above the 200 here. Of course, I've got to look at oil hit this point. And surprisingly, oil's still pushing up, yet the Canadian dollar is not really reacting to that. It should be selling off effectively, and it just shows you the strength of the US dollar at the moment. Now, if that starts weakening, we may get some compensation in the terms of Canada. The Canadian dollar may move down quite a bit at some point to compensate for that move. And I am still looking at the opportunities for that to occur, but I can't get in the way of I shouldn't be getting in the way of the short-term move that's running up here, which, as I say, could break through that 200. And this is all set up relatively bullish at the moment. It's already hit the daily pivot there, and there was a trend line that is across the highs here from yesterday through to the Asian session high, which it's broken, and it looks like it's running up towards today's S1. Okay, that's pretty much it. News-wise today, we've got, what have we got? Today we've got at 9:30 we've got the services PMI key figure again for the UK. You could almost sell into any rallies in that figure, judging by yesterday's building figures. They just didn't. Construction PMI came in very well, and it popped and then just dropped, and it didn't even pop that much. So any decent services figures, they may offer opportunities to sell into. We've got, of course, at 1:15 and ADP non-farms coming out, the first taste of the Friday's figures. And then come 3 o'clock, we've got the ISM non-manufacturing, in other words, the US services PMI figure at 3 o'clock. So there's a couple of, 3 decent numbers there, which may create some reasonable movement. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.